Hello everyone. So this video is going to be about discussing your homework answers. Before we start, let me tell you it's going to be quite a lengthy video, but we have no choice. Rather, we have to solve all these questions. So definitely you will not feel the time passing as we have many questions to solve. And so hopefully you will understand the methods and what do you have to do in different kinds of integer exponent questions. So you will learn all the different kinds of questions through this video. I have tried my best in compiling all the questions together and as detailed as possible I will explain, but after this also you have, if you have any doubts, definitely you will have to ask for help from the teacher. Okay, so this is the first question. We have 5 to the power of negative 3. So as we know, if the exponent is negative, we will write the exponent in fractional form. Now keep in mind, if the exponent is negative only, we will write it in fractional form. If the exponent is not negative, for example, if it's 5 to the power of 3, means you will just multiply 5 3 times, so that will give you 125, not 1 over 125. Why do we have this 1 over 125? Because the exponent is negative, that's all. So you have to keep this in mind, because later on you will find questions without the negative exponent also. Okay, so wherever you find a negative exponent, write it in fractional form. The rule is as simple as that. Now these I'm not going to explain in detail as in the videos before. I have quite explained completely in detail every step in doing these kinds of questions. This is just for you to check your answers if you have solved the homework. So similarly, this is going to be 5 to the power of 3. So 5 multiplied by 3 times, that will give 1 over 125. This question is also similar. So we write it in a fractional form. When you write it in fractional form, what happens? The exponent negative goes off. Okay, that's why we write it as a fraction. So you multiply 2 6 times, that will give you 64. Then again, this special case, I have told you also in detail what you need to do. If the number is in parentheses, if the integer is inside the parentheses, you need to understand your answer is going to be negative or positive by looking at the exponent. So here we have an even exponent, so that means our answer is going to be positive. This basically means negative 5 as a whole we are multiplying 2 times. This is always a special case when we are solving integer exponents. So your answer is going to be 1 over 25. You might ask, how did minus 5 multiplied by minus 5 give you 25? You know the integer rules. If you multiply two negative numbers, the answer you get is going to be a positive 1. Okay, now here the parenthesis, the negative sign is outside the parenthesis. So as according to the order of operation, PEMDAS, you open up the parenthesis first. So when you open up the parenthesis, means you remove them. So you'll be left with something similar to negative 4 over the power of negative 3. Now again, you need to write it in the fractional form. You will be getting the answer as negative 1 over 64. Now, why did we have a negative sign? Because both of the base as well as the integer exponent has negatives. So our answer is going to be in negative form as well. Now, do not get confused with these two. They are two different kinds of questions. This is without the parenthesis. This is with the parenthesis. So if they are without the parenthesis, the answer will definitely have a negative sign. Moving on. Now, this is the simplest and easiest one among exponents. Anything to the power of 0 is 1, no matter the base is negative or positive or decimal or fraction. Anything to the power of 0 is going to be 1. Now, this is similar to 7 to the power of negative 2, because if you remove the parentheses, you will be left with 7 to the power of negative 2. So that means 1 over 7 multiplied by 7, which is going to give you 1 over 49. If you did not understand this part, pause the video, just think over it, how we have solved the questions, and then recollect all the information, and then you can move on to the next part of the homework. Now this is evaluate each expression for the given values of the variables. So they have given a value for the variable. We have to find out the value of this expression. So they said d is equal to negative 2. So now, how do we know that are we going to put this in parentheses or not? As they say, d is equal to negative 2. So negative 2 as a whole, we are going to multiply into a negative exponent. So that's why we write this in parentheses. Or you can say that there is no negative sign in front of this base. So we write the number in parenthesis. So now you all know how to solve these. The number itself is inside the parenthesis, which means you look by looking at the exponent, you need to decide you're going to get a negative or a positive answer. As I have told you in the previous videos, if the exponent is odd, you will get a negative number. If the exponent is even, you will get a positive number. If you have not watched this video, I have attached the link, or you can click the iCard above, and then you can watch whatever the important parts and then do the questions by yourself and check the answers later. So this is going to be 1 over negative 2 multiplied by negative 2 multiplied by negative 2. So that's going to give you a negative 1 over 8. Now, a to the power of 5, b to the power of negative 6. So a is 3 and b is 2. So just we replace the variables with the numbers. So 3 to the power of 5 multiplied by 2 to the power of negative 6. Now, you have to be very vigilant here. Vigilant means you have to be very careful, because you can see that 3 to the power of 5 is without a negative exponent. So as I told you before, when I started the video, I told you if you are having an exponent without a negative sign, means you will just multiply it normally, like how you would multiply 3 multiply by 3 multiply by 3. You will multiply 3 5 times, so that will give me a 253. But this exponent is negative, so I'm only going to change this into a fraction. So when I write it in fraction, I'll get 1 over 2 to the power of 6. Please keep in mind, don't ever change this to a fraction, because it is a positive exponent. Positive exponent cannot be written in negative in fractional forms. So you just solve them as how you would just solve. 3 multiplied by 5 times, I will give you 243 multiplied by 1 to the power over 2 to the power of 6. Now 2 to the power of 6 will give you 64. I have just multiplied here. 243 multiplied by 1 will give you 243 over 64. Now, if you further simplify it, you will get a mixed number that's going to be 3 and a fractional form 3 over something 64. So either you can leave it as an improper fraction, or if you want, still you can write it into a proper mixed form, but this is fine as well. Okay, now the next question, b minus 4 to the power of negative 2, for b is equal to 1. So replace the b with 1, so that's going to be 1 minus 4. Keep in mind that they are inside the parenthesis. So 1 minus 4 will give you a negative 3, right? Integer rules. 1 minus 4 will give you negative 3. So it is still inside the parenthesis, which means we look at the exponent. Is the answer we're going to get positive or negative? It is going to be a positive one. Why? Because 2 is an even number. So 1 over negative 3 multiplied by negative 3, that will give you a positive 9. So your answer is 1 over 9. I know it looks kind of confusing, but if you take your time and you try to solve it by yourself, you will understand way more better rather than someone just explaining it to you. Just try to do it, you will understand it. Okay, this is the next question. 5z to the power of negative x, for z equals negative 3 and x equals 2. So all what we have to do is replace. Now what does 5 and a variable together means? That means it is multiplied. So that's why I put that inside the parenthesis. 5 multiplied by negative 3 to the power of negative 2 equals 5. Now only I'm going to change this into a fraction, because the exponent is negative. Unless you change it to a fraction form, you cannot solve this exponent, right? So 1 over negative 3 multiplied by negative 3. That's going to give you 5 multiplied by 1 over 9, because it's positive. That's negative 3 multiplied by negative 3 will give you a 9, equals 5 multiplied 1 is 5 over 9. So your answer has to be 5 over 9. Now, if you look at these two questions, they are the same numbers, same variables, same numbers. Only difference is this thing is inside the parenthesis, as whereas this was not. What the difference? As you can see, there's a big difference in answers. So what is the difference in these parentheses? Why do we always keep saying parentheses are important in math? Because of this. Because if you leave one parenthesis out, you're going to get a very different answer. So already inside the parentheses we have 5, right? And 5z means 5 multiplied. So that's why I put that inside the parenthesis. If you don't want, you can put the multiplication sign as well. It doesn't matter. Okay, e parenthesis means it's multiplied. So 5 multiplied by -3 will give me a -15, right? And already they said x is 2, so here -2. So now the -15 is inside the parenthesis, so the rule applying will be the same as how we did before if the number is inside the parenthesis. So it's going to be 1 over -15 multiplied by -15. As the exponent is an even number, our answer is going to be an positive number as well. So it's going to be 1 over 225. 15 multiplied by 15 will give you 225. Okay, moving on to the next one. C equals 4. So only in place of C, you replace the C with 4. So 4 to the power of -3 multiplied by 16 to the power of -2. Now both of them have exponents. So when both of them have exponents, of course, we have to write both of them as fractions. So first write the first one as fraction. So if you write the first one as fraction, you're going to get 1 over 4 multiplied 3 times, right? Then multiply, then again 1 over 16 multiplied by 16. Now you might ask, why did we not use -16? It is not -16, it is just a 16, just like that. Okay, so 16 multiplied by 16. So this will give you 4 multiplied by 4. 16 multiplied by 4 will give you 64. 16 multiplied by 16 will give you 256. I know this is a very big number, but what can we do? This is the answer they gave us. 64 multiplied by 246 will give you 16,384. 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. So 1 over 16,384 is going to be your answer. Only if you write this properly and understand what you need to do, you will get these other remaining parts very easily. Okay, now let's simplify this. Now here they did not give any value for the variables. They only told you to simplify. In such cases, what do? You just try your best to make them as small as possible. That's all. Okay, but comparatively for me, the substituting the values are much easier, but these are super easier. Why is that? We have learned already the rule. If the negative number is up, bring it down and make it positive. The negative exponent is down, take it up and make it positive. Simple. Follow this rule. It's easy. So this is t to the power of -4. So what happens here is the t needs to move down, right? So it, like, of course you have to write it in a fractional form. So 1 over t to the power of 4, as how you would do if there was a number here. The same thing you're going to do here. Next one is 3r to the power of -5. Now remember, this means these are separated. There is always a multiplication sign here. So 3 multiplied by r over 5, r to the power of -5. Now to change this to a positive one, what are you going to do? As I told you before, take the negative exponent down. So with the negative exponent, the variable also moves. So 3 remains up, same. So r5 comes down, r to the power of 5 comes down, so that the negative sign will be removed. Now this one, both of them have negatives. So when you want to remove the both the negative sign, what do you do? Just move the s -3 down, so that becomes a +3. Take the t to the power of -5 up, that becomes a t to the power of 5. This is as easy as that. Just remember the rule. To remove the negative sign from the exponent, just switch the places. If it is up, bring it down. If it is down, take it up. That's all. Okay, so again, any number to the power of 0, we know it's 1. So h to the power of 0, any number, it can be h, can be any number. So that means the value of this is 1 over 3. We cannot do more than this. We cannot do anything more than this. So this is your simplified form. Now, 2 x to the power of -3, y to the power of -2 over z to the power of 4. Now, what are the negative number exponents? X to the power of 3 and y to the power of -2. So leave the 2 here because it's not negative. So leave 2 there. Now move x to the power of -3 and y to the power of -2 and keep z4 the same because it's not negative. You don't need to change it, because if you change z to the power of 4 up, it becomes z to the power of -4. So we don't want that. right? So leave the positive numbers as it is, only move the negative exponents down. So that will become x to the power of 3, y to the power of 2, z to the power of 4. It's always preferable to keep them in ascending or in alphabetical order, not necessary. As I've told in the previous video, not necessary, but it's preferable. So this is how your simplified expression will be. Okay, let's move on to this question. So we have 4f g negative 5, 5h negative 3. So just by looking at the question itself, you know which exponents are going to go down and which exponent is going to come up. G to the power of negative 5 will go down, h to the power of 3 will come up. The remaining exponents stays in the same place. So 4f stays the same, only h to the power of negative 3 comes up and it becomes positive, and 5 stays the same, and g to the power of negative 5 comes down and it stays positive. That's all. Okay, now moving on, yeah, you will find a little bit different ones here. Now here they have given us two numbers, whereas in none of the other questions except here they gave us 4 and 5. But 4 and 5 we cannot simplify with any other number. They are already in their simplest form. But 14 and 20 are not in their simplest form. We can still simplify that with 2. So 14 divided by 2 will give you 7. 20 divided by 2 will give you 10. Now it is in simplest form. So always keep in mind also, that's why I said you have to be very vigilant and very careful when you're solving this. Whenever you have numbers which you can simplify, so first simplify the numbers, then you move on to the others. So which numbers are going to go down and which is going to come up? A to the power of negative 4 will go down, and c to the power of negative 1 will come up. So as a result, what happens? 7 to the 7c to the power of 1. As you know, we never use this power of 1. We just leave the number as it is. So that's why I have removed it in the next step. If there is no exponent, means you have to remember, you have to think that there is a 1 there, always an invisible 1 there. So we usually don't say anything is to the power of 1. Rather, we leave the number alone. Then arrange them in alphabetical order. So 10, a to the power of 4. This is going to be your simplest form. Moving to the next question, we have a to the power of 4, c to the power of 2, e to the power of 0. Now, as soon as you see a 0, you need to know that there is always 1 because it equals 1. b to the power of negative 1 and d to the power of negative 3. So what's going to go up and what's going to come down? Nothing to come down because if up, the numbers are all positive. Only b will go up and b will go up. So, okay, wait. Okay, there was a small miscalculation of numbers here. So it was a to the power of 4, c to the power of 2 and 1, because I wrote 1 as it is, the exponent is 0, so it is 1. Then I left the remaining the same so that you will not get confused. Now let's move the exponents. So what happens? B to the negative power of 1 comes up, right? And d to the negative power of 3 comes up too. So there is nothing in the denominator. There are no variables left in the denominator. So we write them like this: a to the power of 4, b to the power of 1, because 1 became positive, c to the power of 2, d to the power of 3, and 1, because this is 1. This is just, I have arranged it in the alphabetical order, that's all. Okay, now if you look further into the answer, a to the power of 4 is there. But I did not write to the power of 1. As I explained you previously in this question also, we don't usually put the exponent of 1. So remove that exponent. So b is b. Then c to the power of 2 and d to the power of 3. And then what does this 1 imply? This 1 means it is being multiplied like 1 to the power of negative d to the power of 3. So it's going to give you the same answer. So there is no point in writing 1. As you know, 1 multiplied by anything, the answer is going to be the same. So that's why we have to remove 1 too. There is nothing wrong if you keep 1, no. But 1 should be here because we give the importance for digits here. So if you write 1 also, it's going to be the same. So that's why we remove 1 and we say this is the final answer. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. So here again, there is h to the power of 0, right? Okay, So here again we have two numbers, as I told you before you start simplifying the other things. You first look at the numbers. So we have -3 and -6. Now you can simplify this with 3. The negative and negative will get cancelled, of course, okay, because both you can cancel negative and negative. And then 3 and 6, so you'll be left with, if you simplify with 3, you'll be left with 1 and 2. All right, so the next one is anything to the power of 0 is going to give you a 1. And then we have g to the power of -2 will go down, so that will become g to the power of 2. And h remains up because h doesn't have any power, that means it's a power of 1. And k also goes down. So this is how you'll be left with when you have moved everything. Now let's simplify it. 1 multiplied by h will give you an h. As I told you, you don't keep the first, I mean number 1 we don't usually keep unless there is nothing in the numerator. If there was no h in the numerator, yes, you have to keep the 1. But here we have 1 multiplied by 1 h. H is 1 h, but we don't put the 1 here. So 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. Then g to the power of 2, k to the power of 2. It's easy, but you have to do it slowly. Yes, you are new to this. I know you are learning something new. As I told you, give some time to yourself and to your mind and brain to absorb the new information, and then try to do it. You will be able to do it. Okay, now this is the last two problem solving. A cooking website claims to contain 10 to the power of 5 recipes. Evaluate this expression. So here again, notice that it is not in negative form. It is in a normal form. So which means we are not going to write it as a fraction. So you're going to multiply 10 5 times. That will give you 100,000. Okay, a ball bearing has diameter 2 to the power of -3 inches. Evaluate this expression. Now I know you all must be super pros by now in solving these questions, at least the basic exponents, negative exponents. So 1 over the power of 1 over 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, because 2 has to be multiplied 3 times. So it's going to be 1 over 8. So that's all for this lesson. Hopefully most of you have got all the answers right, because I know everyone out there is smart. No one is, only that it depends on how much brain we are using. So hopefully many of the answers are right. So until we meet again in another video, keep practicing and keep studying, keep learning math.